Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test of the RMS Beauty Uncover Up Cream Foundation. So this is like a foundation version of their very popular RMS Uncover Up Concealer. I have been super excited to try this out, and I wanted to do a wear test for you guys so you can really see how the foundation lasts on the skin. Now obviously it's different for everybody because skin is very individual and people have different skin types, obviously. I have combination acne prone skin, so I'm going to be telling you how it has worked on my skin. So if you have combination acne prone skin, then maybe you would have similar results to me. But anyway, I am going to try on the foundation, do a demo applying the foundation, and then I will do a wear test throughout the day, and then I will give you my friend review of the foundation. So if you're interested in seeing all of that, please keep watching. Also, if you are new here, my name is Danny and I create content on all things green beauty. So if you are interested in that type of content, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss it when I post new videos. Alright, so I'm going to be using other RMS Beauty makeup products along with the foundation, just so you guys can see how the products work with the foundation. So to start off, I'm going to use the RMS Uncover Up Concealer. I really enjoy this concealer. It's actually one of my favorites. I have it in the shade 22. Just take some onto your finger, or you can use a brush if you would like, but I like using my finger just because I think that it applies the product the most seamlessly and it helps the product to look the most skin-like. But I absolutely love this concealer. It looks really gorgeous on the skin, super skin-like, and I like that it doesn't look cakey. I find that a lot of concealers, when I use them under my eyes, it tends to look cakey, but this one doesn't do that at all. So I really like this. It is a more dewy type of concealer. Okay, and I'm also going to take some and put it on my eyelids just to help create an even base. And I do like using a sponge to blend this in sometimes as well, but for the most part I like using my fingers to blend it in. Alright, and I'm also going to use the same concealer to kind of spot conceal some of those spots where I want a little bit more coverage. I'm actually just gonna kind of put it in the areas where I want some more coverage, and then I'm actually going to blend the rest in with a brush because that helps to give it even more coverage. And then sometimes I'll also go over that with a sponge just to help make sure that it's really blended out. So I'm gonna use this foundation brush. It's by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to blend in that concealer. And I just like to do stippling motions so that it doesn't sweep the product away, and it helps to give it the most coverage. Alright, so now it is time for the foundation. And then it comes with this little spoon that you can scoop the product out with. And so let's just open it up and show you. So it comes with this little protective thing on the top, and then this is what the product looks like. So it comes like in a giant like a tub, and then there is the foundation right there. So I have this in the shade 22. I got it in the same shade that I have for the concealer. So these are both the shade 22. So I feel like the shades do look quite similar, so I think that it's pretty accurate from the concealer to the foundation. I do think that it might be a little bit dark for me because it applies like so seamlessly and it looks so skin-like. I feel like it does blend into the skin really nicely, and I don't think that it looks too dark under my eyes or anything, or just around my face. I feel like it is a pretty good match. So I'm gonna take the little spoon here and just take out a little bit. So there's that. I'm just gonna start with this much, and then I can kind of build it up if I want to do that. And to apply it, I'm gonna use a brush just because that will probably give it more coverage. So I'm just gonna kind of dot this around my face. And then after I apply it with the brush, I will probably go ahead and use the sponge to blend it out even more. I'm just kind of putting it all over. And I will add more if I want to get more coverage. So it's applying really nicely with this brush. I will say it does look very dewy, which, I mean, the concealer is quite dewy, so I mean, I expected this foundation to be dewy as well. I really do like a dewy foundation look. I think that it makes the skin look really nice and healthy and glowy, so I really like that look. I do think that it can look a little bit oily, so I'm definitely gonna want to set it with some powder. because I don't think that I would want to go out with it without setting it, because I think that it would just get even more oily throughout the day. So I am going to set it with the RMS powder. It is the untinted version. So far that looks really pretty on the skin. It doesn't look like I have a bunch of foundation on. It looks quite seamless, which is really nice. I'm interested to see if this is going to break me out. Obviously you can see I have some acne. I am worried that this might break me out just because I do have acne prone skin, so I'll be interested to see how my skin reacts to this. This does have quite a few oils in it, so that's why I am a little bit worried that it might break me out. If you have really dry skin, I imagine that you would probably really like this. But if you have really oily skin, this might not be one that you would like just because it is so dewy. Okay, so now I'm gonna also use the sponge to blend it out even more. Alright, so here you can see what it looks like up close. It does look quite dewy, almost quite oily, so I'm definitely going to set this with a powder, but it looks really gorgeous and seamless. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. It just looks really beautiful and skin-like. Alright, so now I am taking the RMS Beauty Unpowder in the translucent version. This only has 2 ingredients. It has silica and mica. So if you want a powder with minimal ingredients, this is a great option. And this powder does kick up a lot, so just be aware of that. Alright, so now I am going to do some bronzing, and I'm going to use the RMS Buriti bronzer. I know that I just applied the powder. Maybe I should have done this before the powder, but I find that these do work pretty well even when you put them on top of powders. And I'm going to use the same foundation brush to kind of stipple and blend this in. Alright, so now I'm going to use the RMS Lip to Cheek in the shade Modest. I have this little sample. I'm just going to apply this to my lips and also to my cheeks. Now I'm going to use the Peach Luminizer. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I just finished applying the rest of my makeup. So it is about 12 o'clock right now. So I will do some check-ins throughout the day so you can see how the foundation is performing. So right now I really like how it looks. I think that the makeup look came together really well. I think that the cream products and powder products applied really nicely on top of it. So yeah, right now I really like it. I think it looks really pretty and skin-like, and I really like how it looks so far. So I will be interested to see how it lasts throughout the day because it is a more dewy foundation, and I'm also interested to see how my skin will react to it, if it will cause me to break out. So we will see. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours since I first applied the foundation. So I do think that it still looks really quite good. It looks pretty similar to when I first applied it. It doesn't look the best on my forehead, but that's just because of the acne that I have there. So I mean, it kind of looked like that when I first applied it as well. So far it's looking about the same as when I first applied it. It still looks really pretty and dewy and skin-like, so it's going good so far. Alright you guys, so it's been about 6 hours since I first applied the foundation, and I think that it still looks pretty nice. Like, it still looks really nice and skin-like. Obviously it does look a little bit more oily, but also I have been outside and it's hot. So that might be why it does look a little bit more oily, but still it does look pretty nice and skin-like, and it's just looking pretty luminous and pretty, so I like it. It's doing pretty good. It's holding up pretty good. I was actually thinking thinking that because it's so dewy that it might kind of just like slip off of my face, and I felt like more of the coverage might be gone by now, by 6 hours. So for 6 hours, I feel like it's still looking pretty good, and I didn't put on any setting spray or anything like that. So this is on its own with the setting powder. So I think it's doing pretty good. It does look a little bit cakey, a little bit dry actually around my mouth. I do have some blemishes there, so maybe that's contributing to that. But other than that, I feel like it's looking pretty good. The powder, or not the powder, the bronzer that I put there and the blush is looking a little bit patchy right there. Hopefully you can see that. I'm sure you can see that. But yeah, other than that, it's looking pretty good. Alright, so it has been 9 hours since I applied the foundation. Now obviously it does look like it has faded off quite a bit, but overall I think that it has lasted pretty good. As far as if it breaks me out or not, I would have to, you know, try it more and see how my skin reacts to it more before I can really say that. So I would definitely be happy to do some updates on that on my Instagram. So if you want to see that, definitely make sure that you go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's the same name as my YouTube channel name, which is Routine Beauty with 3 Ys. My mascara did smudge. I think that's just because it is a more dewy foundation. Also, I use the Uncover Up concealer, which is also a dewy concealer. So if you have dry skin, I think that this is one that you would really like. If you have oily skin, this might not be one that you would really like, just because it is a very dewy foundation. I personally really like dewy foundations. I really like that luminous look that they give to the skin. I think that it just looks really nice and natural and healthy and just really nice. It is a rather expensive foundation. I believe it's like $50, which is quite pricey, so I'm not really a fan of that price point. Obviously, who would be? I'm not quite sure if I think it's worth $50. But yeah, I do still like it, and I think it's a nice foundation. But anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys liked it and found it helpful. If you guys did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos from me in the future, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Other than that, I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.